Today I'm going to talk about Kofax Weesoft Online. It's an account payable automation solution. Basically, this is a great cost-saving opportunity for any business at any state of their digital transformation journey. So, of course, there are many ways to automate accounts payable solutions. Weesoft Online is one of the best-in-market solutions. So why Readsoft and who is it for? So Readsoft Online is a zero-footprint, fully SaaS solution. It runs in the cloud. It's accessed via a browser using HTML5. It has a very low upfront cost, and most projects are implemented in a few days, so months or years. Before I undertake a live demo of the software, I'm just going to talk a little bit about accounts payable automation, what it is, how it could work for you, etc. So what we can see here is a typical accounts payable story, something that you're likely very familiar with, and something you're probably aware of some of the inefficiencies of. So within this process, there's a lot of manual and time-consuming tasks, as you can see. They normally lack control and visibility. So think of simple scenarios where a specific member of staff is absent or not available. The status of an invoice that was being progressed is unknown, and certainly in the case of paper invoices, as we know, where is it? Trying to manually validate pages of line items in an invoice to a purchase order in another system while ensuring quantities match what was ordered, etc. All concerns. Ultimately, this can lead to errors, longer invoice processing times, equating to last-minute payment runs or even late payment runs being made. So account payable automation is basically critical to addressing these issues, lowering costs and streamlining of processes. That's from the whole sort of invoice receipt, verification and delivery, right through to getting that data into your target system. So we can see, on the previous slide here, we can see the objectives that people want to achieve. So on the next slide here, how we achieve them with automation. The companies that have adopted automation for their invoice processing, they do report real organizational benefits. And these are benefits that significantly impact their bottom line, and they provide other short-term and long-term advantages. So with best-in-class OCR technology, you're going to see how Weesoft Online can extract information from an invoice quickly, accurately, and then present it ready for validation. And you'll see as well, it literally takes minutes per invoice. It has a clear, easy to understand interface. You can view all your incoming invoices as well as invoices being progressed all in one place. It's got simple configurable rules. The operator can be alerted to things like duplicate invoices and invoice age and more. We do have the option of 2- and 3-way matching available, so it can highlight issues with invoices such as incorrect amounts and quantities, etc. delivered. It is fast to set up, and unlike other solutions, it doesn't require endless training for it to understand where to look to extract data from your invoices. And that's something else we'll talk about more shortly. So you can see how we can realize these objectives that we wanted to achieve in the previous slide. And this is a product that is successful from enterprise organizations and BPOs right down to SMEs that process 1,000 invoices annually. It's not limited basically by the size of the organization. It solves a specific problem that's across all industries and organization sizes. Actually, according to a recent report by Ardent Partners, automating account payable means invoice processing costs are only 6 times lower than the manual equivalent. And single invoice processing time is 3 times faster. Invoice exception rates are like 57% lower when using a best-in-class automation solution like Readsoft. So just quickly, this is the last slide. Sorry. As I mentioned, this is a full cloud software as a service solution. So as you can see, that this means there's obvious cost advantages. You don't need to supply a server, an operating system, with the accompanying support and maintenance, etc. There's minimal IT involvement. Your IT guys are going to love you. It's simple and quick to deploy. Users just need an internet connection to access Weesoft online. Don't have updates to worry about, etc. You have the disaster recovery advantages. So this ties in with what I was saying about IT requirements. You just need an internet connection to connect to and you up and running to use the system. This is also hosted on Azure, Microsoft Azure. Obviously means it's got something like a 99.9% uptime, so no worries about system stability or support issues. So it enables fast and accurate processing of invoices, again with no extra peripheral IT costs. It's secure. Readsoft Online uses HTTPS protocol to connect to a tenant, which is hosted, as I said, in Microsoft Azure, and that's in one of the EU data centers as well. So the last point there about central intelligent processing engine, at the bottom right. So this is an interesting point, and it's something that is definitely a differentiator between this product. And it's basically, it's got a central learning engine. What that means is every one of those 1 billion invoices has already been processed by Readsoft, has informed its core learning algorithms. Again, so this means that when a new invoice format is processed by one customer, Readsoft Online learns how to process it through a combination of customer input, AI, and a full-time development team in Sweden that can map any fields that aren't automatically picked up. Personally, haven't seen that, but the option is there. So the result of this is once it's learned, any other Readsoft customer who receives an invoice in that format, they don't need to teach it again. So with that learning in the cloud, Readsoft only needs to learn it once. And that means recognition rates of this software really are second to none. So let's dive in and take a look. So as you said, this is the browser-based application. So let me put this onto full screen. Okay. So I'm logging in here now with a given username and password, but single sign-on can be configured if required. Now, once we log in, we are taken to the main interface. This is called the Office view. So from here, users, based on their privileges, will be able to see the invoices waiting to be processed and verified, invoices on hold, etc. for any reason. Columns you see here as well. So we're showing just the file name, the status, the workflow. These are all configurable. So we can add and remove them as required or desired by the user. So the first thing is, what you're looking at here is some test invoices that I've uploaded into the system. The first question is, how do we get the invoices into Readsoft Online? So there are three possible ways to upload an invoice into the system. So the first is via email. So when you're set up a Readsoft Online tenant, you'll be given a specific email address that is unique to yourselves. So you can ask your vendors to send the invoices to that address, or you can set up auto forwarding from current email addresses as well. The second choice is you can use something called Readsoft Online Connect. Now what this is, it's a very small, lightweight application that can be installed anywhere in your environment or machine. What it does is you configure it to poll a specific directory for incoming invoices and then automatically upload them here into Readsoft Online when it finds them. The third way is, as you can see here, we have a upload option within the portal. Now this allows you to upload invoices on an ad hoc basis directly from your computer. So we can see here, I'll choose very old invoice. Simply select it, and click on upload, and off we go. So at the moment, that invoice, I've just sent that to the cloud. It's being processed in the cloud. The OCR extraction and the heavy lifting, etc., is all taking place. Once it's ready for me to verify, I'll then see it in my queue. Here I like to use the in progress queue because it shows me everything that's basically in progress and the current status. So let me check now. We can see here that my very old invoice has been registered in the cloud. I simply refresh again, give it some time to extract, and that'll be ready for me to verify. Okay, so let's look at the invoice verification functionality. So I'm going to choose an invoice here that we've got waiting for us in the system. Now, there's two ways to do this. I either double click on an invoice here, and this will open it up for me to verify, validate. Or I can simply click start, and that will automatically allow me to work my way through the list of invoices that you have waiting for you. So literally as soon as we've done one, selected OK, which we'll see in the screen in a minute, it will then start on the next one for you. For the sake of the demo, I'm just going to open up one manually here. So it being a live demo, obviously it's taking its time. That's going to be down to my internet connection. So here we're seeing the typical interface that the users will see when they come to validate and verify the invoice. So in the main pane here, what you're seeing is the original invoice. You click, pan around, I can zoom in, zoom out to see the details of the invoice. This was originally a PDF file, so we upload it into the cloud. Scan, we're now viewing that invoice here. So on the right side here, you may have noticed already, we've got some panes here with some values in them. So what this is the information that's been extracted from the invoice. For the sake of the demo, this is what I've decided to extract from my demo invoice. But just as a note, these fields are all configurable. So if there are further information that you want to be pulled from your invoice, certainly it's possible to just add those fields as required. You can add custom fields for you if that's required to. We can see here it's read all the things like the supplier name. It's recognised it's an invoice, not a debit. But things like the purchase order number. This one here, this is giving us a warning. This is a configurable rule. And what I've done is I've asked the system to flag up to me should there be an invoice that's older than 90 days. Again, there are a number of rules that are configurable, and this is just one of them. So what we do is we say, okay, click in the field, happy with that. I want to ignore the error, yes. Okay. So this invoice is actually now ready to click OK and verify and send off to your ERP system or financial system. But just as a note, as you can probably see here as well, we've actually read not only the invoice header and footer information, but as an option, we've also extracted the line items of the invoice. So other functionality within this view, if I was to click here, we would simply go back to our document list view. This enables me to skip this invoice and go to the next one. We have some manual document separation. So if we've got time at the end of the demo, I might be able to show you this. But what this basically enables you to do is, should one of your vendors very nicely decide to send you, say, 10 invoices all in one file, all as one document, you can split them out into separate documents. It's quite a nice feature. Save, so we could basically get halfway through this invoice and decide, you know, we're going to take a phone call, I've got to call someone, I'll just save this just in case the internet connection goes down or something else happens. I can put the invoice on hold. I can request information. So I can put an email recipient here. I can put a message in and it will attach the invoice and send it to someone to answer a question for me or query. I can reject it. I could delete it. This is functionality that is configurable. You may not want everyone just to be able to delete an invoice willy-nilly. Other information we have here available is sort of metadata about the invoice. Any attachments that are also attached to the invoice can be displayed. Any comments? Should you want to write a comment if you've got thus far with an invoice and you want to update it with a comment for someone else to view or as a note for yourself, possible. And a full history audit trail of what's been happening to this document so far. So I'm going to select OK. And that's gone. And it's as simple as that. So if you can imagine if you had a big batch of invoices here, you click that start button. The system is very confident with the results, and you're confident with the results that are coming back. You can simply just start verifying the fields we need to, selecting OK, and processing those invoices within minutes. So I've got another invoice here. That's going to invoke a few other features of Readsoft. Let's take a look at that. But this is optional functionality. You can just have your header and footer, or we can do things like, as you can probably see here, from the name of the invoice. It's going to be doing a bit more. Okay, so we have our warnings again here. The invoice is older than 90 days. Okay, my demo invoice unfortunately doesn't have a VAT reg number, so okay. Field. Now next we're being flagged up another warning telling us that the invoice quantity is greater than the goods received. So we're doing our matching here. We can drill down to the purchase order information. See here we've had 40 delivered. So we're expecting 100. So let's say no. Reject that. Sorry, well, what we'll do actually for this for purposes demo as well is we will say OK. Yes, and I'm going to select OK. And what this does now is invoke an auto retry function where it will check if the quantity of goods delivered has equaled the purchase order amount. And that's configurable as well. I think you can do it up to 5 days. It will keep auto retrying every day for you. Until that point, the invoice will be put on hold. So we also have our purchase order price variance invoice. Let's have a quick look at that one. There we go. So we can see here, again, flagged up an issue with the unit price. Saying here the invoice unit price is greater than the purchase order unit price. A quick look at that. We can see the purchase order unit price was £35. Fortunately, someone is trying to charge us £350 for a bag of cement. Obviously an issue there. What we can do here, we don't want to accept that. We don't want to pay £350 for a bag of cement. Say, we'll just reject that. Okay. So we do have time. So let me show you a demo of how we can split apart a batch of invoices. I'm going to open this as I did with the others. Okay, see here we've got a blank page. What's that about? Well, let's go to the next page. Oh, we've got an invoice. Okay, another blank page, another invoice, blank page, and so on. Okay, well, this is a 2-page invoice. So how do we deal with that? We're going to say, I want to split these apart manual document separation. Select OK. And at the moment, these documents have been split or ready to be split, as shown in my in progress. So now someone can come in and say, OK, pending manual separation, let's go in. So it's a very, very simple function. So as you can see the green outline here highlighting this blank page. Let's just hit delete. It's gone. Okay. And this is an invoice. See? If I press spacebar now, it separates it from this next document we can see here. And I'm going to use my right cursor key to then highlight this blank page, delete it. I'm going to separate it again. And delete this one. Okay, I'm going to then highlight the next blank page, delete it. Now, as you can see here, what we're viewing now is a 2-page invoice. So I want to keep those together, obviously. I'm going to press my right cursor key, and press spacebar. As you can see there, those documents, those pages are now together. Delete this blank page. Another 2-page invoice here. Separate, delete, and we're done. That's accurate. Okay, once we're done, I simply select OK. Now what's happening now is each one of those has been separated into individual invoices, and they're being sent to the cloud to be processed in exactly the same way as the others would. The OCR extraction is taking place, and what we should begin to see here, as you can see, are the individual invoices now that can be opened and processed manually one by one. So I hope that's given you all a good high-level overview of Weesoft Online. If you'd like to find out more, please do get in touch. If you have any questions, then please do let me know.
Thank you, David. That's great. I'm just going to get the presenter requirement for me so I can show my screen. Right. Well, I've opened up for questions, so if anyone's got questions, but I've got a couple for you, if that's all right. And while we wait for others, I'll let you know if other ones come through. So, can you store process documents in the cloud?
Yes, that actually is an option. It's available. You can store the invoices within Readsoft. It is an add-on feature, but it's not expensive at all, and it's very worthwhile. What you get is a link to the document, which is great because then you can include that link, processed invoice data, and maybe have that available in your ERP system or financial system. Then you can just bring up the link, click on it, and then you'll get the original invoice shown on the screen.
Great. And another one I've got is, what security does Readsoft use, and how does it handle compliance?
That's a good question. Readsoft Online is, as I said, it's hosted on Microsoft Azure. There's actually 3 separate domains as well: Europe, Americas, and Asia Pac, and they do not synchronize for compliance reasons. European domain is actually hosted in Dublin, in Ireland, and there's a backup, again, I said in Netherlands, so it's all EU based. There are regular penetration tests that are performed by a company called Victorian. This is very, very well known in the industry, and they give it ratings of grade A, excellent. It's also SOC 2 compliant. Basically, it is very secure, and it's trusted by, and it's used by sort of thousands of organisations globally, from UK finance companies, accountancy firms, and government organisations and BPOs.